35 bears that he would do. Or get in position, bitch. Get over here. There's my handy dandy notebook. We're gonna need that probably for tonight. Bucky, you're too big for my vehicle, bro. Or. There we go. Or. You know what I'm saying? Shawty, when they hit you with the or. What's in my notebook? Oh, I have my affirmations in this for when I freak out. Because I can't stop the oppressive forces. And I have my wagon idea. Or. This is my wagon idea. And I have a place to build it. I'm just trying to get money for the materials now. But my new friend Alex, of all people, whoa, would you believe it? At this town, there's an Alex, a Vincent, and a Casey, and a Ray. That all seem to be doing this story going on. But Alex gave me a $25 gift card to a gas station on the other side of the state. And that's the only one. It's a one-off thing. Like it's just like a mom and pop shop. And they also gave me $15 to Irving. So I have gas to get out of here. I came here guns blazing and applied to a bunch of different jobs, and FedEx has now asked me to do the background check, but the last time I did FedEx for the same location, just a different franchisor, they did not hire me. So I don't know how well that's gonna do, but at least I can try it, man. Or. Look how fucking cool that is. People were talking shit the other day about how it's only a 3-pointer. I'm like, man, this thing was alive. This thing used to walk around. And like, I've chased deer through the forest, man. I've chased massive bucks through the woods in 2023, man. Massive bucks would just walk by my property. But it wasn't mine, I didn't own it. But it was just an abandoned place in the woods, deep in the mountains. There were bears that would walk right up to me. I guarantee your form of hunting is just the same thing. Just sitting in place. I could have easily taken a pole spear and just jabbed one and then waited. Followed it, you know? So I decided it would be better to just, if I ever want taxidermy, I'm not gonna go hunt and kill something, man. I've already proven I can do it. I've already chased animals through the woods. I wait until somebody else made the poor decision of destroying one, and I will save it from some 17-year-old's house. Or 35 bears. So it's gonna be like probably $100 for the wheel hubs. I looked it up, but they'll do everything else for free, man. They'll do it for free. They'll replace my wheel hubs and they'll change my tires over to winter tires, which I might not even need because the snow is gonna melt in a month. It was 45. It's 42 degrees out right now, man. It's nice. When you go from negative 45 to 45, it feels like summer. It's nice as hell, fam. Can anyone find my pen? I lost it. But I have my vape. How is everybody? We're gonna have people coming in. I have to do all messages on, and then I have to wait until people show up and talk shit. And then once we get the addicts hooked, then usually hundreds of people swarm in. The Casey story goes a lot better when there are fucking a bunch of losers that call me a loser. So we could go off on how white people were created by Jewish people to be slaves, and that part of that was just the control over their belief systems and their education. So they literally have programmed them with generational Stockholm syndrome. But I get it also, like, even just doing the fucking background check and thinking about being employed shifted me so much, and I was like, whoa, people with full-time jobs, they're able to have sex, but they're not able to enjoy it the way that you do when you live on the ground. When you live on the ground out in the woods and you've lost everything and you have no responsibilities and nothing but just getting up every day and walking around through the woods, and you've shedded off all your programming and limiting beliefs and you live humbly, you don't have any false pride or really any pride, you just have competence from survival, life is so much better. But I get it. When you go to a job, everything it's like, as soon as I did the background check, even just taking a picture of the fucking license for the background check, everything started to orient back into place and I became a normal person. And I was like, oh, I see now how they operate. But I'm like, that is still fake. It's still completely fake. This is the way. The homeless people running around feral is the way. It's the way life should be. Because they have an honor system. And they don't hurt people because they know it's an endless cycle of hurt. Unless it's like 2 bucks button heads. You don't see groups of bucks or bears running around and massacring other tribes of bears. You know what I'm saying? Can anyone tell me if when they gave... So, there was a bunch of orangutan in this jungle somewhere. And they were watching not the villages of people that were indigenous to the area, but the people that would come in to talk with the indigenous and would talk to the monkeys, and they would do studies and everything and just be scientists. A monkey accidentally saw one of the scientists use a pole spear to get a fish. And that orangutan just walked into the woods, took a stick, sharpened the stick, and then started killing the fish. Spear fishing. And I want to know, can anyone tell me in the follow-up, did that monkey go and start killing things? There we go. Hey! Welcome, block sealer. Holy shit. Homeless dudes always have it all figured out. Well, we have a lot of time to think about stuff, man. And wasn't the best human being ever in existence, Jesus Christ, was homeless? I've been thinking a lot about something Jesus said recently. I was thinking about it in the shower today. When somebody does something to you, say he like hits you in the face or he takes something from you, you let him. You turn the other cheek. And you're like, if you want to hit me again. You steal from here, have my orange juice too. Because then it was never about you. The things that they did to you was never about you in the first place. It was all about them the whole time. So you're just like, sure, man. I'm a homeless loser, you got me. And then you go on with your life. And I'm like, oh my God, I've been ruminating and holding grudges for the people that would talk shit about me in 2019. The people that yelled at me once and I felt like because they thought they had dominated me, even though I was just standing there. Like, what the fuck is going on? But then I started to learn about social games and I was like, he really thought that that's what happened. And then I would ruminate and hold the grudge and I'm like, as life got worse, I was like, now I have to get up and I have to do something about it. If I had just been like, are you serious, dude? And then just moved on with my life. Imagine how much other shit I would have done with that mental bandwidth I would have spent to fucking thinking about all that bullshit that has nothing to do with me at all. That's why it's like, they do something to you, you just, here you go. Have fun. But where I got stuck was, what happens when somebody with a bunch of money overtakes your company with like fraud and not conspiracy, but more like these like long con games at the upper echelons where they like, what is it called when one company merges and overtakes the other and takes the company from people and puts all these people out of work? I'm like, I wonder how come there's nothing in the Bible about the crazy stuff like that? But even then I was like, well, it is true that life doesn't have to be anything like that. Like, even if you have all this money and it gets taken from you because if somebody did something really wrong and evil to you, and you lose your lifestyle and your home and your families and all this, how come you're just supposed to turn the other cheek and just let them and like help them with what they're doing? Because it does take it away from you and it leaves them with their actions and God while you move on with your life. But I'm also like, they did this, like, people have done horrible things to me for a long time. And I'm just supposed to, like, leave them like that and keep moving on. But I'm like, no, I'm permanently worse. after what they did. And I'm just supposed to leave it and just let them and keep going. So I don't understand that completely. Because we're not living in sell the deer head? No. Why would I sell the deer head, man? Do you know how hard it would be to get another one? And then I have sentimental attachment to this guy. He's been with me for a year now. How much did you make on crypto? I turned 30 cents into 30 bucks, and then I got a 250 dono back then from Demon Hunter, and then I turned that into 2,500. I 10x'd on the fam coin, and then while I was pulling it out of Solana, my and a bunch of other people in the Telegram group, our computers broke. So somebody had like sent us a link in the Telegram to get to like a YouTube page or something, and it was embedded something that got them into the computer. And then when they were ready to rug pull, they hit the fucking button and then shut down all of the people holding a lot of money. Like they lagged it behind just so we couldn't pull out, so that they got all of our money and their money, and they all pulled out the OGs. But I would have had 2,500, and I think that that's God, because I had such an amazing experience afterwards living in the woods, because I didn't have enough money to fix the car, so I had to go out into the forest where I'll owe that forest journey for the rest of my life. I'll have to attribute the rest of my life to that forest journey. So if I had made 2,500, I probably made like 2,750 or something total. If I had been able to keep that and it didn't get rug pulled from me, because you have to be timing based, and I was running from a mobile hotspot with latency to my computer that was plugged into an outlet in sub-zero weather outside. If I wasn't working around that shit, probably a lot more. But the computer fried, and then I'm on my phone trying to pull out, but I can't get to the fucking it's not Phantom Trader. I don't remember what the crypto thing was. I had a Soulflare wallet. Dude, it's been 2 years. I can't remember what it was called. Is it Phantom Pay, the purple app? I was trying to get my Soulflare. I was trying to pull out of the fam coin, and it wouldn't let me. And then by the time that I figured it out, they had rug pulled. So I lost it. So the police are sus about you making 2,500. No, the police just have a quota they have to make, and there's also like long-standing old cultures, because this is a really backwards place full of like, it's like New England, like in rural New England, where everything is still like the 1600s. Basically, it's just people have a TV now, and gas does more for your car, but it's still the same exact place pretty much. So when you have somebody out there where there's no cameras and they's deep out in the woods living in the car, I had people shoot at me all the time. I had people try to do a bunch of shit to me. And then every single town I went to did the same thing. So just the cops are also doing stuff like that. Like one time a group of guys got together and kidnapped a trans woman, raped her, beat her, and then dumped her, and then called their friend who was a cop and said, "Hey, I just did this. I need your help." So the cop got them, and then the cop made it impossible to prosecute by telling them what to say. So they pled guilty, smiling in the courtroom. The prosecution knew they couldn't do anything because the cop had exploited the loophole. And then they all just walked out, and the cop still has his job. So the police aren't sus about me making 2,500. They were definitely sus in 2021, because I put my pandemic unemployment assistance into crypto, and I blew up on Dogecoin, and then bought a Dodge Magnum, aftermarket everything, nice coat, boots, nice clothes, started smoking Black & Milds, chain on, walking around town with a bunch of black girls, and cops definitely were making up false police reports and breaking into my apartment pretty much twice a week for 4 or 5 months. Until they tackled me, maced me, dragged me on the carpet, told the news I was violent and disorderly when I was just standing there, and then locked me in a cell for 4 days with no food or running water, pillows or blankets. And they won't, no matter how many times I call them and talk to Tammy, she will not give me the public records of the video of me sitting in there screaming for help, because I can't see, and it's burning deep into my eyes, and now I have a lazy eye and my eyes are fucked. All because they thought, who knows what they thought. It could be because I was with the black girls. They could have thought that I was dealing drugs because of the way I was dressed in the car that I drove. But they could have just said, "Hey, how'd you make your money?" But instead they had to do all these stupid games with their head down, like looking like, "We got a noise complaint about you making a lot of noise in there, man. What's going on?" I'm like, "I literally don't know what to tell you. Listen, here, I'll put my music up at full blast. That's what it sounds like. I'm not a retard. I know that that would be too loud. This is my music where I usually keep it, and you can come in and look. I'm a certified audio engineer and music producer. You can see where I have the dB levels on my thing so that I don't give myself ear damage. I don't make it loud, and I have my headphones in. What he might hear occasionally is that if I have friends over and we play a JBL speaker, but he's never called the police when that happens. So I think that it's just, I don't know what to tell you, but it's not me. But now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, they were profiling me. That's all it was. And then the cop that would do it got in trouble for molesting and beating a homeless woman who had done nothing but just stand there. Swear to God. So that happened. But now I'm down to $0. I have $0. Let's see if I can find my card. Because somebody gave me a 15 gift card to Irving, which is somewhere in here. So that's gas to get me to the dairy farm that somebody said might need help, although I doubt it. But that's why I came here to shower, so that I look decent. And now tomorrow I'm going to go back and ask around for a thrift store coupon or something. And as I'm saying thrift store coupon, I have my coupon for, or not a coupon, but just the card for a thrift store closer to that area that might have a pair of pants for me, because I want to just look presentable. I have a bunch of holes and stains on these pants because I've worn them for 2 years straight now. So if I go to that place, I want, the only thing I'm missing, I have socks, I have muck boots now, I have fleece and coats. The only thing I'm missing is a pair of underwear and a pair of pants, like a pair of blue jeans. But I doubt it, because everything else hasn't worked out. There's a guy in Colorado that says he pays people at his homestead $25 an hour to work, but I don't have any of the skills. And I can't make it out there to Colorado, and I don't even know if I would when I got there, because shit's just weird. So I'm trying to find a gym that would let me clean, like a local gym, that would let me clean in exchange for me using the gym at night. But now, because 64 jobs, because I just got a no from the motor coach driving a bus, after those jobs did not hire me, here's my pen I found, I'm no longer eligible for food stamps, which is why a lot of them said no. I found out is that they're pretty one of the employees said that the manager had said that, no, he's just trying to work to get his food stamps, fuck him. And I was like, really? I told you about, I'm trying to buy land. Really? You're like that low still? You're that trapped? You're just making shit up on the fly? What up, Demon Hunter? I got a shower. I got a gift card for gas. The money that you sent, I spent on gas to get here to the shower, and then driving around looking for pull-off places, and then going to Domino's and applying, and then they gave me a deal for $10 for 2 pizzas, so I got that. And then I spent $5 on this vape because he gave me a deal. This is worth $45, and he gave it to me for $5. So it's just gas. It's just gas. Even though I'm out of food stamps, I still have these protein bars and stuff, so. Well, I'm actually out of protein bars. But I have this orange juice now because they gave me orange juice, and they gave me deodorant and a toothbrush whitening strips. You get some money in the morning. It's only what you can afford, man. I'm just saying thank you. It's never an obligation. Right now I'm trying to go to that dairy farm. Because the snow is melting, so maybe he's got a shovel and he's going to need me to clear out spaces to make room for his vehicles or something at least. Maybe he'll pay me $20 an hour for that. I don't know. So, I don't know what part of these communities are bringing in all the money for the state. I would assume the farms are the ones that are bringing in all the cash. But I heard the farms are really struggling, especially now that ICE has made migrant workers not feel like working anymore. They don't want to be here anymore. They did a huge protest, like their last hurrah Last year was when they all got together in a big army and they went around the state saying, look how much we've done for you for the past 30 years. Our families have built this state for the past 30 years, farming and producing so much for your economy for nothing. And they raped us and tortured us and flayed our fingers, cut one of our guys' hands off and made him chase a chicken around and gambled on if he would die before he caught the chicken or pass out. And fucking all these people did was just call the cops and call security and throw shit at them. And I'm like, you guys have no idea what you're doing. You guys just sealed your fate. So maybe they might need some help. But if they try to put me in the same box they put them in because I'm homeless, which means I'm like a migrant, there's going to be hell to pay. Did he catch the chicken? I don't know. I don't know what happened to the guy, but I know the guy said that the guy who told me wasn't the guy who did it, but he was there. And he said that's the worst thing they ever did that he saw to the migrant workers. But he did say that they would, usually before they cut the guy's hand off, and I don't know what the guy did to get his hand cut off, but they said they took an axe and fucking cut his hand and then made him chase a chicken around. And that was in Pittsford. They said they would flay the front of they would take a knife and just cut the front of the finger so it really, really hurt so that he couldn't grab, and then they would gamble on how fast he could catch the chicken. And they didn't tell me if that was still happening or how recently that happened, but he said they would do it. Booner. Hey, Booner, are you a narcissist? Did you go back to school? That's what I'm worried about. But really, I don't know if it was kind of selfish, I guess, because I only wanted Boone to go back to school so that he could date girls, but it seems like he's doing that. You can imagine trying to do that. I don't know, out in Arkansas. Kitty! Boone, do you know where Queso lives? I bet he's probably out of Arkansas, or he moved into a very large house. I'm pretty sure he just picked up his trailer, that he used to live in a trailer park, and he moved his trailer onto a big property. A narcissist, maybe to some degree. I tend to think of myself as the best. Do you do anything to reflect that you're the best? Like, I knew a 16-year-old that was making $100K selling toothbrushes on eBay, and he dropped out of school. Because he was making more than his teachers and his doctors. But he also said he worshipped a demon god, Mammon. And that's how he got all of his money. And he was Chinese. He was a Chinese giant. He was like 6'5", huge wrestler, not sumo, you racist. And then, made a shit he's probably worth like 500K at this point, because I'm assuming he just kept going with it and moved up. And he got himself, he said that because he was spiritual and into that stuff, and he said that all the kids are into that stuff now, at least in his grade. All of them were doing that stuff. The age of Aquarius, they were all looking into what's this demon god ritual stuff, and they all got into it and started doing it. So he said to keep the energy flowing, he got himself fired from McDonald's on purpose so that he would come in the next day and show off that they all treated him like crap, and he really had 100K in his pocket. So now he would buy the McDonald's every day. They had to serve him while he sat there, and all of them were like, had to go through the, he's got so much money, I'm suffering. So then he would stay in that cycle of power, which helped him with his spiritual bandwidth or whatever, to send all the energy to Mammon and worship, so that Mammon would give him the opportunities to he would literally feel which product was going to sell. He would get the encouragement from the demon to which product to buy, and then he would promote that. And I'm like, that's the craziest shit I've heard in a while. But that he showed me his bank account. But then I'm like, why don't they if they've got all this money and they know how to just make it like that, they can spawn money from nothing. why wouldn't he teach me? I'm like, I'm not going to take your products. I just want to see what you do. I have a computer. I can sit here right next to you and do it. Why don't you help me make some money? Because I have righteous dreams of saving people. And they wouldn't. And I'm like, come on, man. I also knew a 17-year-old that made like, he said he made close to like 600 grand. And then the IRS stole it from him. Because whatever he did wasn't the right way to do it. I don't know exactly what he did. But he did something, man. And the government caught on to it. Because he just had the money going right to a bank account. And the bank account was like, yep, he just got 600 grand somehow. And we can't see where it came from, so. But he could be bullshitting, I don't know. But I definitely have seen a lot of kids blow up, especially like the scammers from New York City that learned how to, like, they found a lot of loopholes very quickly in the system and were able to channel revenue out of people's bank accounts and shit, unbeknownst to them. So these kids were coming up on millions. But yeah. I think most people are selfish. And I didn't like that. So I'm glad that I went into homelessness because you're pretty much stuck around selfless people. Like the only place that you can go that's safe is like this church full of nice people. Or the program for the homeless with people that devoted their life to helping people, man. So I ended up around the best people. And then all the selfish people think that I'm around the worst people. And I'm like, you have no idea. How can you go to church and believe and post about God and stuff and on your Facebook? Like, it was crazy, man. My brother's funeral, the guy that molested my ex-girlfriend showed up. And instead of like giving condolences to the family or like talking to his family or spending any time with the body because it was an open casket, he just stood near me and was talking about how much money he made and how he's going to get married to his new girlfriend because my ex wouldn't let him and he molested her because she wouldn't accept his advances. And then they played his music because they only ever cared about my brother for his music. Everybody wanted a piece of his music. They wanted to be close to him because they saw his potential. Nobody ever really gave a fuck about him. I didn't hear anybody tell stories about what they missed or like the last time that they saw him or like the first memory they had with him. None of them gave a fuck. And then the girl who was dating my op that said he was going to kill me for 4 years and would blow me up, calling me a homeless schizo fag that he's going to kill one day and he can't wait till he sees me die under a bridge. And then eventually he got arrested because he was hallucinating and held his pregnant wife at gunpoint in a trailer in Maine. Because he thought that the guy that tried to ran him over with a car and made him permanently brain damaged, he got an unregistered gun and he was threatening people on the internet. So some kid just ran him over one day. He thought that kid 4 or 5 years later was in the trailer with him. What up, Dallas? Bro, I'm bummed out, but true about selfish people. I'll be back on in 30 minutes. If you're still on, just letting you know in case you need anything. I help my neighbor on Sunday and Thursday eves at 6:30. That's cool. Go for it, man. You like the deer? Thanks, Dallas. You're bummed out? Why are you bummed out, Dallas? It's true about selfish people, yeah. Imagine it's my brother's funeral and you show up just to hover near me and talk about how successful you are. And then none of them even spent any time with any of the family or any of the people. They just played his music on a speaker and then left. And then his mom's best friend, I went on Facebook and was talking about what people are doing to homeless people, and that everybody was going on Facebook and saying that we should kill them and posting 10 site locations and just talking shit, trying to radicalize people to kill homeless people. So I was in defense of all of them all the time. And then The guy who gave my brother the drugs that fucked him up, his drug dealer, told me to shut the fuck up on Facebook. And I was like, wow, of all people, man. And then his mom's best friend, Denise, joined in and started talking shit about me and the homeless people. And I said, literally, you are defending the guy who killed John Michael. Other than his family, I'm the only person I know that really cared about him. Everyone else seemed to not, even if they pretended to be his friend or they said that they cared, I never saw anything close to them caring. Somebody's here. They're parking behind me. It's probably a cop. Which window? Driver's side?
Can I help you?
Hey, my name's Casey.
Yeah.
I came here looking for a job.
Yeah.
And I tried parking rides, I tried places, I stay in the car.
Yeah.
And it just violent people are not great.
Yeah.
So I come to church and I read the Bible, and if people come, I just say, hey, I'm not here to do anything wrong. I'm just looking for a safe place. I usually have a shovel. I offer to shovel parking lots and stuff.
Uh-huh.
If you'd like me to hit the road, I can. That's fine. I'm here today, and then tomorrow I'm going to get a pair of pants, and then I'm going to a dairy farm because when I look presentable, I'm going to go ask if they need help with work and stuff.
Yeah. So there's nothing going on here for a while.
Okay.
Nothing until Sunday.
Okay.
So the service. So.
Would you mind if I stayed in the back to sleep and then left in the morning?
That's okay.
Okay.
The cops do pull in here every once in a while.
Okay.
So if you don't want to hassle with them, you ought to turn your lights out.
Okay.
All right?
Is there anything I can help you guys with?
No, we're fine.
All right. I really appreciate
We're
it.
just cleaning up after last week's service.
All right. If you need any help, I'm not doing anything.
Nah, we're good. We got it down to a science. Thank you.
All right.
Be
Thank
safe.
You too. Thank you. See? And if it was anywhere else, they would say, get the fuck out of here, you fucking junkie. Get the fuck out of here, or I'm calling the cops. And I have my Bible right here. Because when I go out into the wars at the spiritual front lines, I get people that pull up in the truck and they put a fucking demon shirt hanging over their window, and they sit in the car right next to me in an empty parking lot, and they're just twitching and staring at me through the tint in the window, just, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I see more evidence that this shit is real every day, so I'm here to help. I would love to go in and help them. Like, I really want to go in there and help them, but they said, nope, we're good. We've got it down to a science. I flipped to chapter 21, Chronicles 23, that says, and Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel. And David said to Jacob and to the rulers of the people, go number Israel from Beersheba even to Dan. And I'm like, okay, so the person that gave me this deodorant's name was Jacob. And the person at the church that told me about, the person at the last church I went to that told me about this place was named Dan. I didn't hear that guy's name if it was David, but... Are they not all my Lord's servants? Why then doth my Lord require this thing? Why will he be a cause of trespass to Israel? What's these notifications when I'm trying to read the Bible? But Levi and Benjamin counted he not among them, for the king's word was abominable to Job, and God was displeased with this thing, therefore he smote Israel. Okay. So Demon Hunter's son's name is Benjamin, and then at the church, there's only like 4 kids there, and one of the kids' name is Levi. I randomly opened my Bible and it flipped to the passage where God destroys Israel. And then I just got to think about a job interview. A job interview. Wait, when was it? Tomorrow at 2 p.m. there's an open interview for a merchandiser role where you travel around and you just unload boxes and stock shelves. Because this guy, I'm bummed because he has no dreams or aspirations and is closed-minded, but when I try to say just because it's shitty way now doesn't mean it always will be. It sucks, but it's fine. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. It'll all be yours soon. That's the song I'm writing. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. It'll all be over soon. Just because it's shitty this way now doesn't mean it always will be. I mean, that sounds really like that person is a pessimistic loser. Even in my worst situations, I know it's going to be, you know, but he's like dwelling in it, and that's like satisfying to him, which is weird. My cousin's a lot like that. My cousin's like, I don't care if I blow up and become famous when I'm 40 because I do my animation and my TV shows when I'm 40. I'm going to be in Section 8 for the rest of my life. And I'm like, no, you're going to half-ass a bunch of bullshit for 40 years, and then when you're 40, you'll say, well, my life's over. Why is it so dark there? The sun is out. Where do you think I live, man? I live on the East Coast. It is 6:30 here. The sun went down an hour ago. It'll be okay. It'll all be over soon. It'll be okay. The best thing you can do is just leave them in that bullshit and move on with your life, and then lead by example. California. Yeah. I will leave them to clean so I don't bother them. Cool, I thought it was a cop. The way that they pulled up and he said the cops come in here, so if you don't want problems, then keep your lights off. And I'm like, nope, the cop tried to pull in and he couldn't. The cop kept showing up and driving by, but he never went on to the property. He would just turn around at the edge here. He wouldn't go in. So that made me think either demons, California, New York, Texas. I don't think Texas has any mountains, does it? Living in a place that's completely flat seems like hell to me. And without all these mountains to climb up every day like they have in South America, like you see, I'm like, how the hell are there all these big bodies, like slim athletic people with just like monstrous glutes and legs? And I'm like, how the hell did they build those when you can't do anything and you can't go anywhere? There's no mountains. What are you doing, man? This car is slowly turning in, had trouble turning in. I don't want to bother them. old Casey would go in and be like, this is a chance for me to just speak to people. And then, because of God in the present moment, something great could happen. But now I'm like, those guys don't want the hassle. It's beautiful in wilderness areas. I used to half own a lake cabin, and there are these big hills and wilderness all over. Are the trees the same type of tree, or is there like a huge biodiversity in the ecosystem? I think Colorado is like the next level. Like if you like Vermont, you go to Colorado and then you retire back to Vermont. Because Colorado is like Vermont, but with a lot of people. Yeah, we're so beautiful there. Okay. It'll be okay, it'll all be over soon. Yeah, you can hear my wheel hub. My wheel hub is fucked. Like every time I hit a bump, instead of just being like fine, you can hear like a bunch of different knocks and bumps because the thing is loose, so it's all bouncing around. And I don't think that's good. Oh, yeah. Something just happened. It's like the wheel is waving around. And there's the church I'm trying to go to. But the Domino's I applied to is up here. I'm gonna do a background check for FedEx tomorrow. Couldn't figure it out tonight because with the sun out, it took me like 20 minutes to get a picture of the front of my ID with these lights, and then I couldn't scan the barcode because of the glare from the light, so I'm gonna have to go during the day. And I could go to Domino's, and there's that 24-hour gas station. They might need help. I have already applied to Domino's. I don't really feel like going and asking them for free food right now. If I was absolutely starving, but I've got enough fat on me that I could just call it fasting. And I'll actually feel better afterwards. So I have orange juice and a couple protein bars. And that's fine. And then maybe tomorrow, the food shelf wasn't stocked today. There was nothing at the food shelf at all. It'll be okay, it'll all be over soon. You're going so fucking slow, man. I want to turn down this way and see if there's anything cool up this road. While I have a quarter tank of gas. What is this? It looks like a church. It looks like there are people there. And I asked the homeless program how they get money, and they said the government doesn't give us anything. This is all very wealthy philanthropists that work together to fund the homeless crisis, to help them. They're the people that pay for the socks and the gas cards and the money for the staff and the van that they have, and it all comes from philanthropy. And whether that's money laundering or not, who gives a fuck? Because the politicians are corrupt, and I don't know what that noise is, man. That's not sounding great. I think that's just the wheel bearing, man. So I asked her, I said, do you know if any of them have land that I could put a home gym on? Because I'm trying to gain as much muscle as I can this year. Because I figured out that most of the issues people would assume is schizophrenia is really just ruminating and not being able to accept certain things about reality because of PTSD. And when I was in the gym and working out every day, that helped a lot of it out, and it also gave me the self-esteem and self-worth that was a big you need confidence in order to think, or else if your reality is fucked up, or like you're being gaslit by some type of extra dimensional entity, if you don't have the confidence and self-worth, it drives you crazy in 1,000 ways. Ooh, that's a church parking lot I could stay in, but there's a car behind me, so I'll go to the end of this road and turn around. We figured out a cool place. Oh, it's taking me back down a hill instead, actually. But there's a parking lot at the end of this road. Oh, this might be the fucking, is it? No, it's not. It might be, no, it's not. On one of these roads, there's a nice park. Random car idling right there. We're just gonna take it down the road. And we're gonna see if the wheel bearing is fucked, so I can judge if I should probably go tomorrow. I guess I don't need to be here, do I? I could head out tonight. I was waiting for Domino's to get back to me about an interview, and it looks like they're not going to go through with it. Because I need a company car to deliver pizzas, and I'm assuming they already have people, like the people want that company car so that they don't have to ruin their car or pay for gas. So I think he probably looked at his schedule and was like, yeah, we don't really have a slot for someone who needs a company car. Oh, I saw a deer. I saw a deer. If I run out of service and the phone reconnects, I will just end the live. Clean your house. Don't wait for... Spring cleaning is a myth. You're not supposed to devote your days in spring cleaning to cleaning out your place. You can do it today, so that when it comes time for you to... When spring comes around, you don't have to do any work. You can just wipe all the stuff down and let the fresh air in, instead of having to spend your days worrying about cleaning. Aquarius and Pisces season is about cleaning, the indoors. Taurus season is about growing something outside. You're supposed to be outside during Taurus season. And if you live in clutter and smell bad and trash, every day of your life while you're cooped up in there is just cycling pits of hell, which is what they want. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4 cars behind me. Man, clean your house. I was trying to do it today, but then people showed up. They said they've got nothing going on until Sunday, so... And he said he doesn't mind me throw all my stuff in their trash. How long did I cut out for? I was talking about how I have time at the church tomorrow, if it's just as nice, to clean everything in the car and make it look nice. Yeah, most of your, if you don't have like an imaginative space, like Earth is a school, The zodiac elements changing is teaching you about energies. Pisces is technically the most powerful, but there's a lot of cons that come with it. Like, as we're a Pisces and I'm getting these waves of Piscean intelligence that's allowing me to structure energy in my consciousness differently, which allows me to see a lot more about human emotion and behavior and relationships. So in these times where they're supposed to be teaching you the highest level skills possible, they put the world into seasonal depression. They bring division. They put out a bunch of false narratives to make you waste your energy on a cat and mouse game that they're playing with you, like Ice and Renee Good and Alex and politic Facebook groups making you addicted. Whatever drama used to be on the news, that's now just on your phone every single day. They do that in the times where you're by yourself and have a lot of time to think, so that you devote all of your energy into their manifestation rituals and relinquish yourself to their power, and you accidentally become subservient consciously, and you become hooked up like batteries in the matrix towards those corporate entities. And you don't even realize that all of your blessings that were supposed to come to you now go through you to satanic high wizards who do huge rituals in mass to destroy you, all of you, and then break you down to your base essence, like the in Adventure Time when Baal, the deer man, Cernunnos, steals everyone from the Candy Kingdom once Finn gets a brain injury, and he takes them all into that dungeon in the sewers, and all the candy people become melted. And oh, you got in a car accident here. They did. And the candy people were melting, and the deer was eating their flesh. The candy, it was licking the candy and sticking them to this thing so that it could lick him whenever he wanted. As they were melting and becoming just raw, sappy, sugary glucose paste that it was consuming. It's essentially what it is. And they have satanic high wizards that do that to people at concerts. They attach everybody at the concert, and then when they go home, they're still trapped spiritually. Their vessel, their spirit never left the environment, and it left with the satanic high wizard, and you just leave feeling refreshed. But you don't realize that you feel refreshed because God had to save you from being, when you got consumed, because you made the choice of going into that ritual. When they put it right in your face, that's what they do. They dress themselves up as Satanists. They wear the red. They do all the different stuff, and they show you right in your face. They put it in the symbolism, and then they tell you what the symbolism means, and you still go. I'm gonna go last. We're at a 4-point intersection, and there are 4 cars here. Well, the 2 people stopped and waited for me, so I'm going straight there. You're a Libra? We've had a lot of Libras the past few days. Like, everyone that posts their sun sign in my chat has been a Libra the past few days. Libras are not justice. It's not divine justice. It's a Venusian balance between opposing forces. It's not issuing justice. It's not the judge, the jury, the executioner. Libra is literally just the courtroom that allows for balancing forces, the balance of opposing forces, in a way that shows off their point correctly. Aiden Ross is a Libra, and he was the balance between people and suburban kids, and then now he orchestrates fights He orchestrates boxing matches. Not necessarily the courtroom. You have to. That's just like it's a bad analogy. It's just the balance of it. This place looks pretty cool. This place looks like a city. This right here looks like Connecticut. When I drive through Connecticut and shit, like, or just like on the outskirts of New York City, looks a lot like this. I think they just use the same streetlights. Yeah, but they're a bunch of white adults that are thin, wearing North Face jackets, and they have this demonic smile. Yep, prideful loser. And then he twitched, looked back at me, and spit on the ground. Because he's obsessed with his self-image. I heard that when you leave New England and you go down into Connecticut and Massachusetts and New York, like Hudson Valley area and south, there are people that like to go out of their way to make your day worse for no reason. Whereas here they make up a bunch of these really crazy reasons to justify it. But when you get to more densely populated areas, they don't need that justification anymore. They just have a bad day and they'll take it out on anybody. Here they take it out on you. They go hunting for opportunities. There it doesn't even matter. So I'm like, that's not a great place to be homeless, man. I go there with 30 grand in my pocket and make it work, but I wouldn't go there with nothing. But I know I'm young enough still that I'd go there and I'd make friends and they'd put me on and end up living something. Every time I went to the city, they wanted me to be a male stripper. Every time I go to the city, somebody shows up and wants to put me on as a gigolo. Literally every time. Every person I meet from Connecticut, except for this one person that was younger than me. Everyone older than me in Connecticut wants me to go work at the strip club. And I went in once for like 2 minutes and I didn't like it. And then the way that I felt like the strippers were, like whatever spiritually had happened, it felt like every single young girl I met in Miami, even 14-year-olds, had the same operating system. Oh, we're going south. Yeah, the wheel bearing is fucked. If I go at night through the back roads, I can make it. But I can't be on the highway or anything. So we're gonna try to find our way back. So I could park for a few hours. I'm just charging my phone. And then I'll go try to work at the dairy place, see if that works, get some money in my pocket, fix the wheel bearing, and I'll do the background check with FedEx. They're eventually going to want me to go into a primary care to do the physical, like I did last January 11th, last month.